The Wild and Scenic Film Festival, our 23rd annual, right here in Nevada City, Grass Valley, California. I'm your host for this segment, Kimberly Ewing, and I'm here with a married, talented couple here, Larisa and Zack. Welcome to the Media Lounge.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
We're thrilled to be here.
We're so excited that you're here. Tell us the name of your movie.
It is Nozawa Story.
And tell us a little bit, it's a Japanese animated story folktale.
That's right. Nozawa Story is a Japanese folktale. It's over 1,000 years old, and we told it on Super 8 film with hand-drawn animations and an extraordinary synth soundtrack that Larisa made.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How was that for you?
It was, we've done a lot of shorts together. This one we kind of did in different bursts. And actually, so we mostly work from found footage, but Zack filmed a lot of the Super 8 for this film. And so I got to kind of like snowshoe along while he was shooting and kind of gave me a sense of how quiet snow is.
Right.
And so used totally different, all of my work is analog, so I found like a specific pedal that could kind of emulate the soft snow steps that you make when you're outside and in the woods, and so it helped to kind of have that real experience. So
And sound is so important in a film.
Yeah, and
So
I
well
really
done.
do a score. We're not quite at the level of getting really capturing the sounds of the moment, which I would love to do one day. So I do my best with the soundtrack.
And for our audience, they may not know what does that mean?
Oh, yeah.
Filming in.
So just as Larisa said, we have made 8 films since 2019. And when we
8
make
films.
we make them from archival footage, almost exclusively. So we find things that are in the public domain and tell a new story with them.
And Zack often animates on top of the archival
Yeah.
footage.
So we try to basically rescue, remix, reuse old footage. And, we did a film on the Barbary lion that went extinct, and it was told entirely with French Moroccan postcards from the 1920s. We were collecting those. So we like to find material and tell a story with it. For this film, we used Super 8. And Super 8 is this film format from the 1960s. It was designed for home use.
Right.
So it was designed for people to make their own movies. They came in a cartridge. They popped into a very cheap camera. And the film stock is extremely small. It's 8 millimeters. And because it's so small, it's really grainy.
It's really choppy and grainy.
Super
yes.
choppy. And it has that feeling when you look at it of being in a home movie. Like, it feels extremely authentic because nothing's ever really in focus. The color spectrum is really narrow. As you said, there's like these choppy cuts because people press the trigger to like advance the film, stop, and then boom, totally different scene. So everything's jump cut. And what happened is that we found some great film of Japan in the 60s and 70s, Nagano, which is where this story takes place. We found public domain footage of the mountains. And that was the beginning of the film project. But as Larisa mentioned, I realized we didn't have enough.
You didn't.
We didn't have enough. We had maybe 30% of what we needed. So I went on eBay and bought a 1971 Super 8 camera and found the film stock. We traveled up to the Donner Pass in a snowstorm, got out, snowshoed in on a trail we know and love, and shot new vintage footage.
Excellent. Way to be clever.
Yeah, and you wouldn't notice. That's the amazing thing about shooting it on the real stock with the real camera, is that the effect is, this is exactly the same, right? Like, even the chemicals used to expose the work have not changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you used the 8 millimeter before? You do that with all your films, you said?
Never.
This is the first time.
Yeah, now we love it.
Now we have a couple that
Now you have
use
some more
the same.
ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Do your ideas for your films come from what you find and then the story comes from it? Or do you have a story in mind and you then seek the materials because you reuse, you repurpose?
Ooh, good question. This one started from us discovering the story. So, as you mentioned, we're married. We went on our honeymoon to Japan. It was lovely. It was really nice. We liked it. And Larisa found this amazing 1,000-year-old town that was filled with onsen, which are hot springs.
Yes, they are onsens.
Yeah, and they're public, they're free to use, they're extraordinary natural spaces. And so we went to this town, Nozawa, and learned that the town had been founded by a bear. A bear had found this
A
town.
bear.
And we realized that the story was really evocative. We wanted to tell it, but we didn't know how. We started actually just kind of writing it out. Then I illustrated it into a children's book, which we didn't think was working. And then Larisa
I didn't
said
think it was working. Yeah.
it should be a movie.
It was originally for nephews to kind of tell them where we had been.
Yes.
And when Zack made that, we discovered that the story worked forwards and backwards. And I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. Why don't we try to make it into a short? And that was when he was kind of starting to experiment more with backgrounds on animations, and then came into so it all kind of converged at the same time. But this was one of the rare instances where the story was first. I'd say mostly it's more what she had said before.
We
It's
find
like from
cool
the
footage all the time.
So
And
you're seekers.
Zack
You're
like
seekers of
chops
that.
it up and kind of finds
Yeah, I love finding
the story
weird
and
footage.
makes many cuts. And I try to do the music only once because it's very labor intensive.
I'm sure it is. And it's
Yeah.
just such a clever way to create film. And this is a 3-minute film, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm telling you, it probably took how long to make this film between the two of you?
I mean, 200 hours.
Oh, yeah.
like 6 months, yeah.
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 But just as you're saying, we love to encourage new filmmakers or people who have a story and haven't ever made a film that you can do this without thinking of all of the footage in the way.
Right.
Right? Like the story we told with postcards, nothing moved. It was just 50 postcards, cut,
Yeah.
cut, tell the story. You can find amazing things to tell stories with. I think someone could tell an amazing story with a stack of leaves.
Well, and you are doing it so well. And when did you show at the festival here?
We just showed Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. with Among the Wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, we opened Among the Wolves, which was very
I
flattering.
An
love
honor.
that.
That
Yeah.
film is extraordinary.
Beautiful.
We're very proud at the Wild and Scenic of all the films that we bring and the people that want to come here. So will we see you again with maybe another movie? Another film?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
Well, this is Zack and Alyssa. Let's give it up for them and the Nozawa story.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And we'll be back after this. Thank you, guys.